Hey everyone, this is the LEGO Overwatch Junkrat and Roadhog set. I'm going to give you a quick run through all the major features here, take a closer look at the figures, and then come back and talk about some more details and my personal thoughts. Much of the bulk of what you're looking at here is display stand. So you've got the two main figures up here on a motorcycle with a sidecar, but all this is extra stuff that is just inspired by the Junkertown map in Overwatch, and it doubles as a display stand and makes this look cool and interesting from more angles than normal. So this is perfectly set up for a desk display or a shelf display, which is how I think a lot of people will want to have this set up. You can also take the individual things off, and we will take a look at that in just a minute. But it's nice that the LEGO designer actually put some extra effort into building up this base so that it's not just a vehicle with a couple of figures on it. I think this is cool. I think that a lot of the things here will be recognizable by players and will be appreciated. This also provides some secure temporary storage for the figure accessories with the scrap gun for Roadhog there. This is a trap from Junkrat and a concussion mine back there with the nice printed piece in the center, the 1x1 tile. Got a couple bundles of dynamite or TNT, and over here just a little bit of the payload to escort. They also have some sign elements over here, which mostly rely on stickers for their level of detail. If you want to put more emphasis on Junkrat and Roadhog themselves, or you just want to play with this thing, it just lifts right off the whole bike with the figures on it, and this is ready to literally roll. The bike has a nice custom build. It doesn't rely on any large preformed pieces. You really have to assemble this using proper LEGO techniques, many of them LEGO Technic based. This does have one large exclusive print for the front of the sidecar there. I'm really happy to see that that was done as a print, and overall I'm pretty satisfied with the look of this and the build of it. It went together pretty nicely. It rolls very nicely. It uses a fairly narrow and still fairly uncommon type of tire that's relatively new. Looks pretty good. It's not too overdone, and it just works to hold on to the figures. Here's what the bike looks like with the figures removed, and obviously Roadhog is a very large, thick, and bulky figure, so you take him off alone and it already makes the whole bike look a lot more sleek, as it should. This does look pretty proper. It's definitely oversized in order to be able to hold a LEGO big figure, which is not able to bend its legs or anything. But overall, I think it's pretty nicely done. It's pretty proper and recognizable. The level of detail on the Roadhog figure is pretty outrageous. It's really bordering on not LEGO-like at this point, with just so much realism built into it, especially with the kind of realistic skin tone. This does use a bunch of different colors of plastic rather than relying on just prints and paint to bring in the details. So the sand blue color for the pants is its own plastic color. The black that's used for the lower body is also its own plastic color. Same goes for the vest up top, and the yellow on the right arm, which is its own unique and brand new mold. You do build up the junk gun there, which is a fairly simple build, and I'm happy with that because it's not too oversized. Oftentimes LEGO builds buildable weapons to go with figures that are just entirely too large. And then this is a brand new piece, a brand new mold for the chain hook there, which is great to see. It does fit onto just a standard medium-sized LEGO chain, and it fits into the hand. It's able to be held and everything. You want to see an interesting surprise? Well, look at the head. That's a new headpiece that just fits onto a regular minifig head, and there's an unprinted minifig head underneath there, so you could put this potentially onto any normal sized figure if you want. This is also dual molded with black and white plastics and no printing whatsoever. Here's what this figure looks like around the back, and again, there is more detail to be seen. Some of these things could have been easily cut off and just left plain around the back, but they did not take any shortcuts whatsoever. So it's a very, very high-end figure for LEGO, to be sure. The level of detail and quality of the Roadhog figure, I feel, just could not be duplicated in minifig size, at least without making it a much more expensive figure. I think just with normal LEGO production processes that they have available right now. They couldn't get to that level, but they tried. You know, you've got this new hairpiece, which is in a light yellow color, which was specifically designed for this figure. Got the peg leg there done in orange. And just overall, you know, the printing is pretty good. No dual molding for the full leg there. I think that could have been added to bring up the overall eliteness of this figure. Check out the back, though. That is a rip tire that is dual molded between the gray and the black, and it is a separate piece. So you can actually pull that off and roll it around if you want on its own. And you also need to see some additional printing on the back of this figure, as well as an alternate face. But I also want you to see a little bit better that this frag launcher also has an additional piece that's that printed 1x1 tile, just an additional one of those at the end there. If anybody watching this video used to play Unreal Tournament, and you know what I'm talking about, when I look at this right here, give yourself a shout out. So there's the print on the back of the torso, as well as the additional face, the alternate facial expression. I'll just put the hair on backwards here so you can see how that gets framed up. And also I want you to see the rest of the print, not just for the back here, but also for the other face that you saw at first. There's just a little more print up towards the top. Finally, from the display stand, the trap for Junkrat, the concussion mine, and also the little almost Sanrio style flower plushy thing here are all individually usable, and that is a new print there as well. Here are the leftover spare parts when all is said and done, including an extra one of the exclusive 1x1 printed tile. So here's all the stuff in this set all separated out normally, and I have to say I'm pretty shocked by just how much LEGO was willing to invest into this theme, and more specifically into this set that we're looking at right now. I mean, that is really a deluxe level figure. Like, if LEGO had a black series of figures, this would definitely be right in it. The number of different plastic injections that were used to create this figure is just astonishing to me, including also the new molds. I mean, a bunch of new molds, almost all of them for the main figure itself. That's just completely unexpected for me, for something that I didn't think they were really going to have that much that much invested into, that they would have that much belief in as an entire series. And even this figure right here, to have this done up as its own thing, as a dual molded piece at that. They didn't even print and paint the little spikes on there at all. Just completely unexpected. That I totally get, and I appreciate it. Appreciate actually getting 3 of them in the set. This I completely understand over here on the sidecar, because LEGO just doesn't expect its customers to put stickers across things that have compound curves, that are curved on multiple axes. So, you know, that costs a little bit extra, but they needed to do that. And they did. I'm glad that they did. Interestingly, this piece right here is an unprinted LEGO BB-8 from Star Wars head, just in a plain white. That's an interesting new part to be able to get. And I'm not sure if I've seen these right here. It's a relatively new piece for LEGO. I'm not sure if I've seen those in that color before, the dark red. For that matter, I'm not sure if I've seen these Technic pieces, these Cam Loeb style pieces in yellow before. So definitely, if they have been used before, they're relatively rare, and I definitely haven't seen them in forever. So definitely some interesting part usage in here, part availability, even for folks who are not interested in this specific set. You know, just the things that it offers up for people to use for their own custom builds in the future. Also getting these wheels, the narrower ones with the large diameter, but also the narrower tires to go with those. And again, this piece right here, which can be used by itself. I haven't actually pulled that off just to show you. Oh, it just fits over any regular Technic pin, is how that's set up. Overall, I'm pretty impressed by this. Oh, again, sticking just to the parts. These things here, these cogs that are used for pulling treads and belts and things, mostly treads, in medium nougat. What? Medium nougat? So bizarre. These little bush pieces in the dark orange, they've done those before. but it's nice to get them. Just overall, there's a lot that went into this. I feel like it's just kind of a high-end set, which does help to explain a little bit its price. $50 US feels a little bit high for the amount of stuff here, but when I consider that this does have a big fig, and these always do cost a lot more than normal. You know, they add a disproportionate amount of cost to sets in general. And given how good this one is, I can kind of see it. You know, I could see this being like 20 bucks worth over here, and then I don't know, 10. Yeah, because I mean, this is mostly hollow here. Give that 10 or so. I can easily see this end up being a $10 figure just by itself. A regular minifigure is like $3 in a set, $4 if you buy it individually. So when you really add things up and look at what you get here, I think they're asking a fair price. If you can find this at a discount, you know, like down $5, then I think you'll be able to get a very good deal. If you get it even cheaper than that eventually, fantastic. But just as it is, even if it doesn't go on discount, I think it's not bad on the value side. For play, I think the figures in this set, the characters in this set, just ask you to create mayhem with them. You know, it just kind of comes with their territory. It's part of their whole reason for existing, you know, their backstory and everything. And then the bike, you know, it's just a bike. It just rolls, you know, provides the normal play value of a plain vehicle. Most of this here doesn't really add much. I don't really see many people. I don't foresee many people actually using this as a play structure. You can, but you know, you could use it as a piece of a map if you want, but it doesn't really add that much, if you ask me. As a display model, it's really nice with that stand on there. I like that they continue to do the different style of box art for the Overwatch line. Although this is not one of the more compelling versions, I think, that they've done here. I think this needed a little bit of a higher shot or something, a little bit more focus on Roadhog, a little bit more light in there as well, because you know, a lot of the value of this set, I think, really comes from the Roadhog figure. But it's just a box anyway. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with this thing. Happier than I expected to be, and I think that the value is pretty decent. If you want to see how all this went together, you can check out my real-time build or my speed build. I will link to both of those at the end of the video, which is right now. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.